Well, good morning, everybody. It's Gina. Today's Sunday. It was weigh-in day, new Weight Watcher meeting day, 2019 motivation day. There was lots of things that already happened today, and it is 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm headed out to church in just a few minutes, but I thought I would go ahead and get the weekly review of our upcoming week's weekly motivation for you. The weekly this week was interesting in the fact that they talked about 0-point foods in a whole new way. You all know that I feel that I had a problem when Freestyle came in because of 0-point foods. With all the new people coming in to WW because it's the new year and they've made new resolutions, and if you are one of those people, I say welcome. And thank you for stopping in. I hope you subscribe and stay a while. We're on this journey of becoming healthier and more fit. Up to this point, prior to this week, I think I was down 13 or 14 pounds. And I attributed last year's failure as when the Freestyle program came in, I just kind of went crazy. I quit tracking because it kind of lends itself to that. You know, if you're eating a snack or a part of your lunch and it's all 0 points, well, it's easier to say, I'll just track it tonight when I track my dinner. Well, life gets ahead of you and you didn't track it and then you forgot it. You ate more than you should have. So I didn't process Freestyle very well in the beginning. But this day's topic brought to light a whole new thought process for me, and I hope that this will be something that's enlightening to you as well. And if you get to go to your meeting today, I wish you'd let me know and tell me what you got out of your meeting. You know, because everybody's going to have a different take on it. Everybody's going to have a different experience. This is just my opinion and my highlight, my first meeting of the year 2019. It said, did you know that WW Freestyle has more than 200 smart points foods? If you pop down into the recipe section, like you're on your home page, it's your day's journey, and you go down to the bottom and it says recipes or restaurants. Click on recipes, and about halfway down that page, it says 0-point foods. So used to where we would go on Pinterest or on the Weight Watcher app and pull up that whole 200 list of 0-point foods is now in that recipe building page. So that's helpful. I think that will help to navigate when you're building recipes for your own personal future use or sharing with others. And the topic today was how to utilize those 0-point foods to gain momentum on your day or your week. You don't have to weigh, measure, or track them. What a blessing that can be to people who maybe you don't really want to track that day. As long as you eat everything on the 0-point foods list, don't track. You can do that. But the minute you start putting foods that have points in them, you have to track it. And in addition, if gaining the blue points and gaining the Weight Watcher bonuses, if you will, I don't even remember what they were called, fit points maybe. If that's something that is attractive to you, then you'll have to track regardless, whether you're using a whole 0-point day or not. Do they promote whole 0-point days? No. I'm saying you can if you want to. If you have an event coming up, if you have something that you're planning for dinner and the rest of the day needs to be 0 points, you technically don't need to track them or measure them. If it's an egg and it's chicken breast and it's turkey breast and it's vegetables and it's a salad with a 0-point salad dressing, there's the kicker. If all of those things are what you ate, it's 0. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. I like that portion of it. For me, last year when it came out, that got me into trouble. But I've had a whole year of experience doing this, and I've gained a lot of momentum in the year 2019 already, and I see how it can be a positive, and I've always looked at it as a negative. It says this flexibility works. In a clinical trial with WW Freestyle, participants not only lost weight, but they reported less hunger and fewer cravings, because you do not have to be hungry ever. If you are hungry and you don't have any more points for the day, boil you an egg, eat a chicken breast, cut up some dippable vegetables and get, a quarter cup of fat-free yogurt, whether it be Greek or plain, as long as it's fat-free and plain, no sugar added, and it's fat-free, then get that and put you some ranch dressing mix in it, or put you some Italian seasoning mix in it, put you some fat-free beans in it and heat it up. All of those things are zero, and there's no need for you to ever be hungry on Freestyle. It's a thought process. It's what you choose to do versus what you allowed in the past. You can go through your welcome book that you received when you first started Weight Watchers, and it will give you information on that. Try these tips for using 0-point foods. Okay, so the tips that you would find in your welcome book. Choose one 0-point food as a base. You took 3 or 4 chicken breasts, you threw it in the crock pot with some salsa, and you let it simmer until it was done. You stick that in the refrigerator, and that's your base for the week. You could make tacos with it. You could make, a take on huevos rancheros. You could make with a Olay wellness wrap, you could make yourself a chicken enchilada with some fat-free cheese and maybe even some fat-free beans, refried beans, and make yourself an enchilada. There's many things that you could do because you made yourself a base to have prepared for the week. Much like food prepping, but they're talking about it as a base. Choose one 0-point food as a base. Layer in the flavor with other foods. For example, you start with skinless chicken breast, 0 points. And you add tomatoes, 0 points. And you top with an ounce of mozzarella, 3 points, and basil, 0. So all of a sudden, you have, maybe your take on a bruschetta minus the bread. Or you want to crisp up an Olay wellness wrap or a flatbread and actually make yourself some bruschetta. Or you want to take the points from the piece of, a baguette, cut up however many points you want to spend on it, and actually make you some chicken bruschetta. I can talk. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're talking about. It says, save up your smart points. And I hit on this earlier. If you know you have an event that's coming up, save your smart points, utilize the 0-point foods, and prepare for the following week. That's what my take was on this past week. And it says, enjoy your 0-point foods. Make them enjoyable. If you don't care for vegetables, season them suckers up. Make different things out of them and make them more enjoyable to you. If you like ranch dressing on pizza, well, you can take the toppings from a pizza, which are mainly vegetables minus the cheese, and pour some ranch dressing mix on there. Roast them in the oven, and maybe a little bit of tomato something to give you the pizza flavor, or even some pizza sauce or spaghetti sauce. You can find 0-point spaghetti sauces. I don't know that I've ever, maybe I have found a contadina pizza sauce might end up being 0. And you put all those in there and you roast them up. You put a little bit of the ranch dressing mix on there, 0. So they're talking about changing it up, even though we've been using these same 200 0-point foods for the past year. Do something different to excite the process so that you're not going through the mundane in 2019, that you can find new motivation, new food, new loves. And so it talks about that. So, and then the recipe this week is mac and cheese with a creamy squash sauce. I'm going to show you a picture of it. I did make last week's recipe and did my very first Cook and Dine with me Come and Dine. I haven't quite figured out the name yet. I like Come and Dine because there's a song back in the day, Come and Dine, the master calleth, come and dine. I like that, but Cook and Dine is more what my process is because I'm cooking the meal and then sharing my thoughts and of the process of the new recipe. But it was that Greek chicken with orzo and tzatziki sauce. I changed it up. I didn't use the tzatziki sauce, and I used rice instead of orzo, and I made a few tweaks to the recipe to fit our lifestyle. Totally doable. We talked about that in the meeting today. And so there's many things that you can do with the primary recipes, even if you don't find something in here that you like. Like, I don't think I would care for squash sauce because it's an acorn squash, which I'm betting is a sweet. I don't know that I would care for that, but maybe I could, figure out some way to make it a different kind of sauce and still try the recipe. I'll tell you, if you take the time this week to work on, to dream up, to plan, to rethink, to remotivate yourself with a new or revisited why, you will be ahead of the game for next week. So if you already know your why or you've planned your why for 2019, please let me know in the comments below. That's something that I'm really interested in. I am going to try to add on to my existing why and make things a little bit more personal, more geared toward me and my goals. It was pretty much in a whole life reason up till now, which is being able to be with and play with my grandkids. I still don't get to see them all that often, so I need to do something that's more focused on me. Be a little self-centered in your why. It's okay. It's 100% okay. So I'd like to know that if you've already got your why down or if it's changed for 2019, let me know. Again, my word for 2019 is improve, and I feel that I have already improved because I had some really bad gains in December. I had a 5.6 pound gain, and then I lost 2.8, and then I was up 0.6, and then I was really up last week, 5.6 pounds. And then this week, I was so happy to say, because I followed plan and I stayed on track, I was down 3.8. So it really does work. If you work the program will work for you. And if you're new to Weight Watchers, I hope that you'll stay and subscribe. Let me know how new you are, where you're at in your process, what I can do to help you in the future. And if there's any way we can move forward with that, I would love to hear your ideas and your thoughts. Please stay tuned for some cook and dines and then, of course, anything outside the Weight Watcher realm that might come up. And I will tell you one little, I'm not big on quotes. I'm not Sandy. It's not willpower as much as it's want power. So when you're having those moments of low willpower, let your want to see your goal. Think it through for a minute. Think about where you want to be at the end of the week, where you want to be at the end of the month, how long you want it to take to get to your goal. Think about all those things. So don't let it always just be about willpower. Let your want power kick in and kind of overrule your willpower. And that's what I got out of my meeting today. I hope I shared some information with you that could be helpful and beneficial to your weight loss journey. And let me know what day you hit your Weight Watcher meeting and how you, what you gained from your Weight Watcher meeting, either this week or last week. And keep me posted. I would love to hear your journey just as well as I'm sharing mine with you. And I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye. God bless.